JavaScript is one of the most useful programming languages. On the basis of how many programmers use it, it's like on the rank 1. With almost 78% of the programmers using JS not only to build their websites but also to build their games and manage their desktop applications. No matter if you're working with NoSQL databases, JS is very useful in that topic. So if you're a beginner, you may start your coding journey by using JS only. So today I got to know about a very interesting topic in JS like how to read parameters. So I just got that I should share this thing with you all. So I'm here in this video with the topic of URL search parameters API, that how you can just fetch the parameters in client side, and now you can even fetch that in server side by using Express. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the. So here you can see that I am having a very good example. Like suppose you are having like website one that's going to contain one header, an input box, and a submit button. Like simply it's an to do app. In fact, if you see like header, input box, and submit button, that really gives us a sense of a to do app. Now here like objective of the website, we are making this website, but what the objective is, it's going to take your name as an input, and after we click on the submit button, it's going to just transfer the text to another website using the parameters. Now how it's going to work, suppose you just send some data from one website to another. So http semicolon slash yourwebsite.com, question name is equal to Ayush. That's a simple format. Like yourwebsite.com is not like exactly yourwebsite.com, it's like your website URL. Now what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to write some JS code to just read this parameter name is equal to Ayush. And first of all we are going to do it on client side, then on server side. So let's go to the HTML file here, and here's some of the basic boilerplate with the title of URL search parameter. So let's say URL search params in JS. Now after that, let's go here and select script tag. Now in JS we are having one API with the name of URL search parameters. So first of all, for taking any kind of parameters we need some controller. So let's say let controller is equal to new. And why we use the new keyword, the only basis of this new keyword is to just take that API and to call that API like new URL search parameters. So that's going to call that API, right? So let's say new URL search params, that's going to call that. But here we are supposed to give a parameter, and that's the URL of the website, because we are just saying to the JS like you need to give me the parameters with the keys and the values. So the JS is going to ask you for the URL of whose parameter you want. So we need to just pass that window.location dot location dot window dot location dot URL, I think so. No, search, I think so. Search window dot location dot search. That's going to be a string. Now comes a very simple example like website 1. You're having your own website with a header, input box, and submit gives a feeling of to-do app. Now we're having the objective of the website. Every website do something like you're just creating a website. You should have some objective of creating that. Now this website objective is going to be like it's going to take your name as an input. After we click on the submit button, it's going to submit that and transfer your text. It's a parameter in the URL. I'm not seeing that, but it's written at this point. So how it's going to look like? It's like https semicolon slash slash yourwebsite.com question mark name equal to Ayush. So like yourwebsite.com is not exactly yourwebsite.com, but it's like the URL of your website. And question name, and this is the exact sentence like question name equal to Ayush. Name is the key, Ayush is the value. So this is how you can just pass into the parameters the keys and the values. But how can we read them by using JS? Because unless or until we read them, there is no use of these useless parameters. Because that's not going to change any kind of content in our website. That's going to just simply be in the URL and like for just seeing. Now, for reading them, we are having a URL search params API in JS. How you can just do that? Let's now. First of all, suppose if you want to just read any URL, then what you need to give, you need to have one controller of the website, one controller of website that's going to like read all the parameters. So let's say let controller is equal to new, and the new keyword is used to call any kind of API. So let's say URL search params or any kind of class as well. You can just call a API and a class. So this URL search params needs one, yeah, you can say a parameter. And in the parameter, what we are supposed to give, we are supposed to give the URL. And what we are doing exactly, we are saying JavaScript to give all the parameters, keys, and values, but JS is asking us for the URL whose parameters you want. So we need to give that. We are going to say window.location dot href. But at this point, you are supposed not to give the href but a search. That's it. So window.location.search is not going to give your whole URL, but it's going to give all the part of the URL after the question mark sign. And why that's so? Because after the question mark sign only, we are having all these keys and values, right? So let's go ahead and say, first of all, how will you get all the keys of, like, what are the keys in fact? In the parameter, we have having the keys like name equal to Ayush. So the left hand side is the key and the right hand side is the value, right? In between, there is an equal to assignment operator. So this is a name equal to Ayush. Name is the key. Similarly, suppose someone gives an AND operator shift plus 7, age equal to like 14. So at this point, the key is age is a key, and 14 is the value. Similarly, you can just give one more and sign, and you can just pass on a lot of data. Like suppose you can just give like language equal JS. So this is another parameter. Language is a key and JS is the value. We are supposed to save that, and now the next thing is how we are going to just access up all the keys. For doing that, you can just say like, okay, let's say let keys is equal to controller dot keys, and that's it. We are going to get all the keys at the parameter. Then we are going to run a for loop for let key of key. Remember not to use keys in. In is not used at this point. We need to use of instead of in. So let key of keys, the array keys, we are going to say console.log key. And yeah, let's save this, and okay, let's run this, which is not okay. So it's like running on 45,500, and that's all done. Let's go to the console to see is it working or not, and we are receiving one error. So let's go here, and now nothing is coming because there is no parameter. Let's give some parameter like name, Ayush, and age 14. Now you can see the keys are there, name and age. Name, age. So these are the keys. Okay. Now how will you access the values? For that you can say let values. Like everything is very straightforward. You need to just say if you want values, you are going to say like controller dot values. That's very straightforward thing. Then we are going to do the same process here. Let a value of not in. Remember not to use in, otherwise you will not get, you will get some value, but you are not supposed to get the value in the key. So let value of values console.log values. Let's save this, and now you can see like name, age, I use 14. That's all like keys and values respectively. Now suppose if you want to make a project in which you are supposed to have one array. Let's say let container, let's say container is equal to one array, and that's going to contain the key and the values. You can just do it very easily. Just select controller, and this is the most easiest way to do that. Controller dot for each. This is in fact one array, and we are going to run one for each for this for each. And in this for each, we are running one callback. The callback is having two parameters. First is the value, second is the key. Now let's say like container, inside the container with the key of key, we are going to set the value to be the parameter of value. And that's very straightforward thing. Let's go to console.log container. Let's save this thing. And after we save that, you're going to get one array that's like name, Ayush, age 14. And if you give like more parameters, let me just show you. We just go here and say like language, not question mark, and sign. Let's say language equal JS. So you can see like language JS, age 14, name Ayush. So this is how you can just read the URL parameters on the client side. Now we are going to move on to the server side. Now for the Node.js, what we are supposed to do first, we are supposed to make one initial commit, and let's say like npm init. Okay, whatever. So package name is going to be URL search params only, version 1.0. That's all. That's the description is how to read URL params in let's say Node.js. Entry point is going to be index.js, text commands, get repository keywords, author. Okay, I would like to give that author, but right now I just press enter. So yeah, all done. You can see here's I can just edit here as well, like Ayush. Save that. And let's go ahead and say like npm I express. Let's make a global install. So express, and I think yeah, that's all fine. Express. Let's save that. I think is that installed or not? Npm I, let's install ws. Okay, now it's there. So what's the next thing I'm gonna do is just minimize this thing here first, then make one file index.js, then okay, wait a while, there was a one bracket at that point. Now it's okay. Now after that we are supposed to just import the express here. Let's say const express is equal to require express. Wait a while, it's not installed at this place, so we need to do, we just installed it globally but not at this place. Express, now I think it is going to work. Yeah, now it's there. Let's say let app is equal to, that's a very simple call, let app is equal to express, and after that we are going to say app dot listen, and we are going to listen like port 8000, and we are going to run one callback saying like console.log listening at port 8000. That's okay. Now the next thing that we are going to do is app.listen. After that, even before that, let's say app.get slash. If we get slash, we are going to just return something. Now here are like three parameters. First is the request, then the response, and we are going to just run that, and we are going to say response because we are going to send one response from the server. So response dot send file, and we need the path at this point. So let's say let path is equal to require path. Now let's say like path dot join underscore underscore din name with the file name. So let's give something like index.html only, and we are going to just go here and just delete this much of script, right? Let's save this. Now let's run this by using nodemon. I think that's all fine. That's much code we need. Let's go and select nodemon index.js. It's like listening at port 8000. Let's go there. Localhost. Now you can see URL search params in JS. The website is there. Now the next thing, suppose you how you can do that. So suppose someone goes to like slash name slash Ayush. You can see get cannot get name Ayush, an error page. Slash name slash Ayush, we want to read these parameters and we want to give the output accordingly. So how we can do that? We can just go there, and now here comes a very useful thing. Now the express, what happens in express, just read the code from the starting to the end, right? Means from the starting at this, from this point to the end, right? So first you just check if there's slash, it's going to return that only. But if something extra like app dot get slash name, suppose if slash name is there, it's not going to return index.html slash name. And after that, if slash name, and we use this colon, we use colon to represent this value. Slash ayush is a value, we represent it by using colon. And we suppose we get name, okay, then we are going to just say req comma res, and we are going to send like req. Okay, let's say console.log req dot name. I think name is there, right? Slash name colon name, that's, I think that's the correct one. Let's go there and let's reload it. Not getting anything. So right now, like slash name colon name is not working. So here was one issue, that was like we need to use one slash even before this column, right? Is slash name slash, then only you will give the ayush, right? So the only thing is ayush. So you can see now it's there. If I just save this and if I go back, I just reload, and if I reload, I get something like undefined. Yeah, I'm getting undefined, right? We are saying slash name slash ayush. Cannot get slash name ayush undefined again. So we are having request dot name, right? RDQ dot name. I think the name should be there, right? Let's give like username. Let's see, is it there or not? So username, no, it's not there. So response dot no, it's not going to be there. It's only in the request only. So like the request comma response, we're just checking for that slash name slash colon username. Okay, so we just did one mistake here, and the only thing was like request dot params. First of all, the parameters, then only we are going to access that username. That was only mistake. Let's save this. Let's go back, reload this. We are reloading it, and Ayush is there. So we are first supposed to get that, and in the response we are going to send like rds dot send file, and wait a while, we are going to just say rds dot send file. Yeah, send file, and path we are going to give. So let's say path dot join underscore name with index.html, not html. Yeah, are we having any other thing like error back? Okay, so that's like the error. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back. So now if I just reload it, you can see slash name slash ayush, and we are receiving ayush, right? And you can just even send a message to the user on the body only, and you can just do it by not by this. You can just say send file, send hi, hi, a space plus rdeq.params.username. Let's do that, guys, and let's reload. Hi Ayush, it's there. So if I just say like hi Harsh, press enter, hi Harsh is there, right? And if I say something else, let's say slash Rahul, something like this, and let's say Rohit, so something like hi Rohit. So this is something like how it works. So let's say Ravi, hi Ravi. So this is how you can just read the parameters by using JS on both client side and server side by using Express and viewer search parameters respectively. So yeah. So yeah, that's all for this video. Meet in next video with some new build and technology. Till then,